my name's Abby, and if it's your first time watching me, welcome, and if you've watched my other videos, welcome back. So today I wanted to give you guys some tips on what worked for me whilst I was having treatment for Hodgkin's lymphoma. In 2017 I had ABVD. That was for 6 months, and I received treatment every 2 weeks for 6 months. And these are just some tips that really worked for me, and hopefully they can work for you too. So I have my notes. Tip number 1, an extra soft toothbrush. The reason why I say that is because during treatment, your teeth and gums will become sensitive. So an extra soft toothbrush is a great way because it's really gentle on your teeth and gums. I found for me personally that I was able to brush my teeth throughout my treatment, which was really lucky. I didn't have any mouth sores or ulcers. However, my gums did turn black and so did my tongue, but that's normal. Tip number 2, make an appointment to see your dentist. I just so happened to see my dentist before I had treatment, which was a coincidence, and he suggested that I should see him in 3 months' time after I've started treatment. This was a really good idea because he was able to check on my oral hygiene just to make sure everything's fine, because your mouth is another gateway to pick up infections. Tip number 3, don't eat your favorite foods on treatment days. I had a cheese pizza on a treatment day and I was feeling really nauseous, and for the next 9 months I couldn't eat any cheese because I would just associate cheese with being nauseous. So don't do it to yourself. Also, eat from a smaller plate. It's less overwhelming for you. I had trouble drinking water, so what I found, and it's so important to stay hydrated, so what I found was a flavour in my water. I would drink green tea, regular tea, and also just like lemon and ginger, things like that, just anything with flavour really. It's a good way to get liquids down you, especially when you're being flushed out. It's that feeling of having chemicals in you and then drinking water. For me, I just didn't like that, so I definitely found flavour in my water to be helpful. Tip number 4, avoid raw foods. Don't eat any sushi or raw fish. The best thing to do is to eat cooked food that's thoroughly cooked, and don't eat anything that's expired. I really wouldn't risk it. Tip number 5, this was what worked for me, I think, and I didn't care how ridiculous I looked. I always wore my mask outside. The air is as filthy as it is. Your immune system is weak. You don't want to risk picking up an infection by breathing in God knows what. Tip number 6, avoid people with coughs and colds. Just ask people around you to be mindful really, especially if they have something. You don't want to pick it up. Luckily, I never picked up any colds or infections, and I think that's partly because I always wore my mask outside in public places, and I just asked people to avoid me if they had colds really, because I didn't want to pick up their germs. Tip number 7, I mentioned this in my last video, and that's massages. It's definitely worth asking your hospital if they have any volunteers that give massages. This really helped me because I was sick most of the time whilst I was in hospital having treatment, but I found a massage to be really calming. It just helped relax me. Tip number 8, I listened to Indian flute music. It was such a nice distraction whilst I was sitting in the chair. I think it's such a good idea to listen to music or something that you're not familiar with. It's just a great way to distract you from what's going on. Tip number 9, I think, keep a journal. Even if you do have family and friends around you, you can still kind of feel alone because it's happening to you, not them. And there might be things that you want to say, but you're probably not able to open up and tell them because they might not understand how you feel, or you might just not want them to know how you feel, but you still want to get it off your mind. So I would definitely say keeping a journal is such a good way to help take the load off of you. Those are my tips. If there's anything you would like to share with other people that worked for you, please feel free to leave it in the comment section below. If you are about to start your journey or you're halfway through your journey, I wish you the best of luck. Stay positive. be strong. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe so you can keep up to date with me with the future videos that I put out. Thank you for watching. Bye.